this early in the season. A lot of teams bunched up right in the middle of the standings. With 3 players with 2-1 record, somebody at 2-2, player at 1-2. So these are kind of important games to sort of separate players from that middle of the pack.
Okay. Sorry, I had a little bit of a technical difficulty. That should be done, and we're ready to go. It looks like Diana Hayes will take the mound for the Marlins today. We are watching Loba's perspective of this game. So probably some orange tint in the Marlins uniforms. Diana Hayes this season has a 2.00 ERA. And it's Perry Mark for the Blue Jays.
Of those even round numbers, right?
1.57 ERA for Mark. And here's the first pitch. Strike one.
From the windup, back to the plate. That was ball 1.
Let us know in the chat who you think will win. Marlins or Blue Jays. 1-1 pitch to Sullivan is popped up and caught for out number 1.
It's going to be trouble there for dropped.
This one's going out. The coach calls timeout.
Raul Mondesi comes up now. Has a home run this season, 2 RBI, 600 average through 3 games. Ground ball to third, Bagwell fires to first in time, out number 2.
Marilyn McDonald steps up to bat.
Here comes the third baseman, Marilyn McDonald. 4 for 8 this season with an RBI. 500 average to you and me.
Into the motion and the offering. That was a ball. And the count is 2-0. The windup, the delivery.
So it's a 2-0 pitch to McDonald. Fouled back now, 2-1.
From the windup, a 2-1 pitch. A swing.
2-1 is hit out to left field and caught. That's out number 3.
It's a really impressive 1-2-3.
Yeah, 1-2-3 is Wassersass coming up to lead it off for the Blue Jays. She's 4 for 10.
Here's the pitch. Swing. Foul ball.
Again, just looking at their previous results, they were 18 for 28 combined coming into this game, and a 1-2-3 inning. That's just, again, impressive given the results.
From the stretch, fire. Swing. Line drive. And
Lined it off the back of McDonald's head and out of play. What a play there. Wasserstadt advances to second.
Fabienne Callahan steps up.
And here comes Callahan. Callahan,
From the windup,
3 for 9 this season, 2 home runs, 3 runs batted in, and hit out just past second base. Whitaker, guys,
Take it easy on me, will
it's
ya?
caught by Porco.
That's it out.
That's the first out. Here comes
Steps up to bat.
Susan Gore, has 1 catch in the outfield so far today.
Strike 1. We have a runner on second, 1 out.
6 for 9, 2 home runs, 3 RBI coming into today.
1-1.
That pitch goes by for a ball.
Here's the windup. Pitch on the way. Another strike.
Called strike 2.
Motion. The 1-2 pitch. That
Here's the 1-2 and just outside the zone. Little low and inside. 2-2. So now we're at a full count. Another ball.
Foul. 3-2.
Swung on and tipped back, foul.
Target goes up. 3-2 pitch. Strike 3.
And that pitch fools Gore. Strike 3.
Gary Allen steps up.
Gary Allen up next. 375 average.
the
One
wing.
RBI.
A bouncing
It's a
ball.
ground ball.
Left
Baco
of center,
fields
right
and
to first. Did he
fires
just
to
drop the
first,
ball?
and
He's out.
Pretty play.
Mahoney
That's
picks
a
it up
say
and
so.
First inning.
gets to the
One
base in
Wow.
time.
Pretty fortuitous drop right next to the bag there, but again makes the out.
Mahoney had just
Mikey
enough
Thomas
time to
comes
get
up to the plate.
the runner out, and we go on to the top of the second. No score.
I've
Mikey
gotta get on
Thomas
base.
leads it off this inning for the Marlins.
Stretch, he throws it. Swung on.
Again, let us know who you think
Goes for
will
the
win
garbage. He's got it now.
in the chat.
And the throw to
Wasser
first.
says throws to
And that's
first in
out.
time. A lot of
Chester
running after
Whitaker
Mikey
comes to
Thomas.
the plate.
Yeah, I thought the catcher was just going to run all the way and tag him.
The target goes up. The delivery. Swinging. Looped up.
Whitaker pops up. Is it going to be Marks? Is it going to be Bagwell? Might be neither. It
That
bounces.
weren't no good.
Not sure what Bagwell was really doing there. It kind of went back and forth a couple times.
Well, Whitaker's came in today 429, 3 for 7. So now she's 4 for 8. That's a 500 average.
Low ball one. Runner on
Boko
first.
comes in
One out.
571.
Into the windup. Pitch on the way. Strike. 1-1.
Again, it's limited sample size. He's only 4 for 7.
Swing. And drove it to deep left.
Going down to left field, and Gord makes the catch. Maybe only had to take one step to get to that.
Adam Van Doren comes to the plate.
Up next is Van Doren,
He winds and the throw.
2 for 7 thus far this season, but one of those hits was a
bouncing
triple.
ball.
Ground ball foul down the first baseline.
Runner on first. 2 out.
0-1 count to Van Doren.
From the stretch and the delivery. The swing. A bouncing ball. Lays out.
Ground ball to second, but it gets through to a base hit.
Got it.
Whitaker's going to stay at
Throws
second.
it over.
Van Doren is safe at first. We move on to Jerry Mahoney, first baseman. Only 1 for 7 thus far this season. It's still early,
A bouncing ball.
and that ball is grounded foul.
Ready now. The delivery.
Here's the 0-1.
Runners on first and second.
Inside, ball 1.
Here's the windup and the throw. Swung on. A bouncing ball.
That's grounded up to the pitcher, or maybe the catcher. Wasserstadt fields it, fires to first.
And it's an out.
It's in time.
You just see him clicking on that base path to first, just trying to sprint to the bag, but
Ready now and deliver.
Here comes Samuel Middleton for the Blue Jays.
No out.
First pitch low,
Takes
ball
the
1.
pitch, the delivery. Back towards the outfield. Lots
Gets
of
that
room.
one deep.
He
Van
does
Doren
it.
goes back. It's off his head, but he keeps it in the yard. Looks like only a single.
Harry Marks.
And here comes the pitcher, Perry Marks.
Ready now. Fires. The wing. A blooper in foul.
Swung on
territory.
and
Runner on
fouled
first. Nobody
down the
out.
third base line.
Here's the windup.
0-1
and
count.
delivered.
Here's the pitch.
Strike 2. 0-2.
Left
Good
hook
for
just
ya,
in there
The
for a
Ashley.
windup
strike.
and the pitch. Swung on. A blooper in foul territory. 0-2. Into the windup. She delivers. She got another one.
And called strike 3. Marks goes down.
that base hit is kind of what we were talking about before the game, right? Where that short center field porch, you really don't need that much power to kind of reach the equivalent of the warning track there, right?
Yeah,
The windup. Here's the pitch.
couple more feet, it would have gone out. But it stayed in the park, and it's only a single.
Takes the stretch. Pitch on the way.
Here's the 0-1 to
A
Bagwell.
bouncing ball.
Grounded.
Takes the dive. Hicks the
McDonald
dive.
dives.
Finds second. He's
Fields
outta
fires to
there.
Whitaker, now to
Fires across
first,
to
but
first.
Mahoney can't hit on to the ball. So Bagwell
adventures
advances to
over
first
there.
on the fielder's choice, and here comes Sweet.
She's ready. And the offering. Oh, she grabs it.
And McDonald
sends him back
catches
to
it on a
the
fly.
dugout.
Out
And
number
that'll
3.
close up the second. One left on.
The Hayes, Sullivan, and Mondesi
So far, folks.
coming up in the top of the third. Now, I
Steps up to bat.
informed the Discord we're live. Top of the third.
He comes center. The delivery. That was ball one.
And Hayes, her first time up today.
The target goes up and the pitch. That was ball two. Nobody out.
She has yet to get a hit this season.
Comes center and the offering. Ball three. And the count is.
Might not need to
She's
take the
seen
swing.
balls.
Here's the motion. Throws it.
Let's see if she has the green light. Nope. It's in there for strike one.
From the stretch, 3-1 pitch. Strike.
The 3-1 is just hitting the corner,
Honest-
strike two.
Honestly, I like these takes.
The delivery. And down it goes.
Oh, there it goes. Strike three called. No swings, but took
You know
6
what?
pitches to get her out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's still kind of a productive AB rather than just swinging at the first pitch, ground it out to the pitcher or something.
Fire. A swing.
Definitely. All right, here comes a ground ball. Bagwell comes in,
Throws it to
fires to first, but
Boy.
Stuart Sullivan's already there
I
before
mean,
the ball
there's-
leaves his hand.
There's a reason why Stewart came in 8 for 10, and that first at bat was a little blooper that was caught. And if it hadn't been caught, would have been 2 for 2 with another hit just like that.
Stuart Sullivan has 9 out of 9 speed. Here
No
comes
biggie.
Raul Mondesi, and a timeout called. Defensive change of another kind. The 0-1 pitch is fouled back. Now 1-1.
We didn't see defense play in there, did we?
The 1-1 pitch. Swung on.
And that ball is
Mm.
hit out to center field, and
That ball is out
no
to
doubt
the
about it, it's a home run.
Paper trail.
And again, a perfect example there where the short porch plays a factor. Because if that wall goes back to where the trees are, that's probably an easy out. But
Raul
just snuck out
Mondesi
of
with
there.
the second home run of the season. 388 feet, and that gives the Marlins a 2-0 lead.
And it's why you love having a table setter like Stewart to have somebody on base for a shot like that.
Marilyn McDonald steps up.
Here comes Marilyn McDonald.
The stretch. The pitch. Swung on. A bouncing ball.
With the
Easy.
ground ball.
He throws the ball.
Thrown to
She's
first in
out
time.
there. Mike
Out number
Thomas
2.
comes up to the plate.
Here comes Mikey Thomas. He was chased down the first base line by Wasserstaff. His first time up.
Pitch on the way. Target goes up and the pitch. Takes the stretch. Here's the pitch. High ball one.
Nate Tastic in the chat says Loba and Mondesi name a better duo.
Bouncing ball.
Uh,
Oh, no.
Loba and Sally Dobbs, maybe.
Chucks it to first.
Mikey Thomas can't make it to first, even after the bobble by Marks.
Up by
And after that 2-run home run by Mondesi, the Marlins have found themselves scoring first.
from the windup.
2-0 Marlins as we go to the bottom of the third. And Jack Joseph with his first opportunity today. Plate. Mahoney dives, steps on first.
Jessica Wasserstaff.
That's the first out of the inning. Here comes Wasserstaff. Had the odd double that air ball off McDonald's head and then out of play. Hayes fields fires to first in time. That's out number 2.
Some quick ABs here compared to the last inning where we saw that long 6-pitch at bat followed by a homer.
Cuts to the plate. Low and inside. 2 outs.
Well, here comes Callahan. And yes,
And the pitch.
Hayes is working quickly thus far in the bottom of the third.
A bouncing
It's a
ball.
ground ball. Mahoney goes after it, but Whitaker fields behind Mahoney and will take it herself 4 unassisted. So 1, 2, 3 go the Blue Jays, and the Marlins will come up in the top of the fourth. Here comes Francesca Whitaker.
Whitaker was just
Who?
too excited to bat. She wanted to go
Yes.
over and get.
The unassisted put out from the second base position,
No out.
and she's 1 for 1 with a single coming in for this plate
And the
appearance.
throw.
Here's the
That's
0-1,
and the count is 2-0.
just outside the zone.
Into the motion, throws it.
Now the 2-0
Hit hard.
is hit out to left field,
And she
and
goes after
Susan
it.
Gore
Fires
fields on a
goes,
hop.
throws the ball.
Wow.
Whitaker will be safe at first for a single.
Might have been the wag, but I
Comes
looked like they caught it on the fly, but apparently not.
into the windup. The delivery. The swing.
Taco hits one, and
Out. Blanco
Bagwell
towards
makes the
gap.
catch.
Boy, that's got a couple
Safe on
of
first
shots to
base.
third like that.
Adam Van Doren comes to the plate.
Now you'll notice with Perry Marks on the mound, a lot of
And
straight balls.
offering.
Mostly has the
Bunt.
slow ball and the heater.
He's all over.
Ground ball, Wazers has
Throw
fires to second.
Out. Great shot to first. Safe on
So Van
first.
Doren
Wow.
tried for the bunt, maybe for
Jerry
a sacrifice,
Mahoney
but
comes to the plate.
Wazers has with that arm able to.
From the
I
Get
start,
out
love
there.
that aggressive throw there.
Low ball one.
Just
Runner
really
on
heads up
first,
play.
2 outs. The target
Well,
goes
you're
up,
looking at a
and the
100 out of 100 arm from Wazers now.
1-1. The
Called
third,
strike
the
one there.
delivery,
1-1 to Mahoney.
a ba-
Here comes a ground ball. Wazers has
He's out.
fields in front of the plate and fires to first in time.
And it doesn't hurt that you see how fast the catcher springs out and runs to the ball. There's not a lot of time for that runner from first to get there. So really nice to have a strong catcher, obviously, fast and with a good arm.
Ball one with nobody out.
Here comes Susan Gore, 0 for 1 today, but 6 for 10 on the season with 2 home runs, 3 RBI.
The target goes up, throws it. Swung on. A bouncing ball.
Ground ball off the first base line and rolls foul.
Nobody out.
It'll be a 2-1 pitch to Gore.
Strike two. 2-2.
Called strike 2.
Boy, I don't even think trying to throw a strike.
And belted.
And that ball's hit out to right field.
Didn't quite make
Off
it.
the wall.
Ball is still in play.
And Susan Gore will remain at first.
Boy,
Be a single for Gore.
did you notice there how the right fielder pulled up and said, "I'm going to give up the single, but make sure I can get that caromed and leave it to a single instead of potentially a double"?
The
Well, that's a
swing
good
to the
Bobby
right
Abreu
field.
defense from Sullivan. Can't get an
She's
error if
on
I
the
don't
way.
try to catch
That
the
was
ball.
one. Runner on first with nobody out. From the windup, the 1-1 pitch. That was ball 2.
It's just inside. Will be a 2-1 coming into Allen.
Swinging. Tattoos that one.
And that ball will get through the infield. It's a base hit.
Easy play for him.
Modesty
Here's the throw
fields
to
and
second.
fires it in.
Second. Oh no, missed it.
Boy,
The throw.
So we've got
I think
runners on first and second as Marlins are having a little bit of trouble
Throws it over.
getting the
I
ball
think-
back to the pitcher.
I think Raul had cut that off cleanly. Could have had a play at second.
Here comes Samuel Middleton.
Fire. Strike one. Runners on
3 for 9
first,
on the
nobody
season,
out.
including today's hit.
Ready now. Pitch on the way. Swing. And rolled one deep to right field.
That's out to right field and will
Didn't
be
make it.
Oh, boy.
dropped. So that time Sullivan tried,
Oh, here we
catch
go.
it, dropped it,
Fires the
and
deep
here
left
comes the
field.
run.
Gotta run.
Boy,
The run
Jerry
scores.
Marks comes to the plate.
It's a 2-1 ball game. So Gore was able to score from second on the single.
and
Mr. Perry Marks comes to the plate.
Second.
I get running Stewart in so far.
Here's the windup.
Faster to run in than to throw, but
Strike.
just took way too long to throw it to the pitcher to be able to get it home. I think just waited a beat too long.
And the delivery. That was ball 1.
The 0-2 is high and inside.
From the stretch,
Ball
the
1.
1-2 pitch.
Here comes the 1-2 and fouled back. We'll do it again.
Count is 1 and 2. Into the windup and delivers. Swinging. Foul.
Hung on and foul back. I wonder if
What'd you think of the send there?
She
On third.
delivers.
I thought it was aggressive.
Strike. Another
But we
one
saw-
down.
We saw Sullivan run the ball in before, so maybe Willigan was banking on Sullivan running it in
Yeah.
again instead of throwing it in. And
And I think throwing it to the pitcher, throwing to a pitcher as a cutoff, even though he was basically in the infield, I think makes a lot of sense. But it took too long.
Bagwell pops it up, and it'll be the infield fly rule called here. So Bagwell's out, and Sweet comes to the plate. Sullivan out in the outfield has speed and could possibly catch the ball, but only a 19 arm strength.
Ready now. Pitch on the way.
It's the Marlins playing right field here at Steele Stadium. So it's an 0-2 count, 2 outs, runners on first and second. The Sweet, and it's a ground ball down the first base line. Mahoney fields and will step on first base, and the side's retired.
Yeah, obviously a great job from the Marlins there to limit the damage. I think there was 2 on, 1 out already come in, and was able to get Bagwell out and then get that last out there without giving up the tying run.
Well, the Blue Jays able to at least cut the lead in half as Diana Hayes comes up in the top of the 5th for the Marlins.
Yeah, and like we talked about, that short porch, down 1 run as opposed to 2. You're always kind of in it at this stadium.
Here's the motion. The 1-1 pitch.
Hayes swings and makes contact, but Bagwell with the diving catch.
Gold
number
Glover at
1.
third.
Sullivan steps up.
Man.
That robs Hayes of what could have potentially been her first hit of the season.
So here's Stewart again, and again, not choosing to play in. I would choose to bring the infield in.
A bouncing ball.
Ground ball. Marks will field,
Yeah.
but Sullivan
Here's a single.
beats the throw to first.
I just think if the ball ever goes straight to the ground and it's not a little blooper like we saw in the first inning, it's just hard to imagine that Stewart ever gets thrown out if you have your infield playing.
Well, you got to question Gary Allen running away from the ball
One out.
instead of trying to field it as the second baseman.
Here's the windup. Pitch on the way.
Well, he heard dinner was ready. So-
Well, it's still a little early. It's top of the 5th, even if the Eels are grilling here. And it's strike 3, swing and a miss.
It's good to see Mondesi still with a smile, walking back to the dugout. It's good sportsmanship.
Well, he did have a home run earlier today, and his team is still in the lead.
Yeah, he ate his for sure. This really is a tough 1, 2, 3 in the lineup, though. I think Loba might have been selling his lineup a little short.
The stretch. Pitch on the way. Swung on. And the count is 1 and 2.
So it's already a 1-2 count to McDonald. Here's the pitch. Swung on and hit out to left field. Gore goes back, and she makes the catch.
Well, I think that's 4 catches out there and left, and she's traveled maybe 5 feet total. Just some nice positioning, of course.
Great defensive positioning from Gore. As we go to the bottom of the 5th, it'll be Jack Joseph leading things off for the Blue Jays. Joseph, including today, as a 250 average and 1 RBI.
Nobody out.
Grounded on the third base line and foul. An 0-1 pitch. Low.
The windup and delivered.
Here's a 1-1 and
1 and 2.
swung and missed for strike 2. Comes the pitch from Hayes and against the corner, strike 3.
That was nasty. That was mean. But we should have top of the order here, right?
Yep, it's Wasserstadt, so we're back to the top of the order.
From the stretch, Rosen.
1 for 2 today with that odd automatic double to start the game. If you tuned in late, you got to go back and watch that double that Wasserstadt had. Off the head of McDonald and then out of play.
It was very Canseco-like.
Well, it's a 3-0 count to Wasserstadt. Let's see if she has the green light, and she does. It's a ground ball. Thomas fields and fires to first in time.
Out of there. Fabienne Callahan steps up.
You got to appreciate the aggression, but
From the
didn't get enough of that ball.
Low ball 1.
Callahan comes in 0 for 2 today. 3 for 11 on the season with 2 home runs and 3 RBI.
I guess thinking 3-0, he's likely to throw me a strike and not wanting to take another pitch. Wait, another 3-0 count. Playing with fire.
The windup and the throw. The swing, strike.
Swung on and missed. And that's just strike 1.
Yeah, we're seeing
And that one's strike 2.
pretty clear. We're seeing I don't want you to walk me. Throw me a strike.
Pop fly.
And that ball is popped up. Tom is both going in on it. And Thomas
Boy.
makes the catch.
Play, Baylor.
That's the end of the fifth.
That was some great gamesmanship there. Of I'm swinging at 2 balls that I know are balls because I want you to have to pitch in the strike zone. Then throws a third ball way low and inside, but the game still places it. Where you have to take that swing and get hamstrung. It's kind of lucky for the Marlins, I think.
So Mikey Thomas leads it off for the Marlins in the top of the 6th. Takes the first pitch for strike 1. Here's the 0-1, and it's hit towards right field.
Yeah, and it's
caught
easy.
For out number 1.
It's easy, obviously, to be results oriented, but you wonder, if you take the automatic walk, extend the inning.
He's ready now, and the delivery.
Jack Joseph making a nice over-the-shoulder catch there. Here's Whitaker taking a pitch. It's a 1-1 count.
Target goes up. The 1-1 pitch. Low ball 2, and the count is 2-1.
Whitaker having a good day at the plate. He's 2 for 2. Makes the pitch now. It's a 2-2 count.
He winds a 2-2 pitch.
Here's the pitch from Mark. Low, ball 3.
No take there.
So it's a full count here to Whitaker.
The swing,
Swung on and fouled back.
and the count is 3-2. The target goes up. A 3-2 pitch. A swing. Looped up.
That's swung and hit towards
Play. Out.
field, but caught before it leaves the infield.
Boko steps up.
Now there's 2 outs and Boko at the plate.
From the windup, the delivery. Low and inside. 2 out.
That was Vincent Sweet making the catch at shortstop.
Also, the meta is pretty designed to be pitching low and in, regardless, but the stadium really kind of forces you to stay off the plate, off the middle and the outside of the plate, again with that short portion center.
Boko hits it the opposite way. Diving stop by Joseph and takes it himself to first base. So it's the last chance for the Blue Jays, and it's Gore, Allen, and Middleton coming up to the plate.
Susan Gore comes to the plate.
Decent hitters, has a decent shot here.
The stretch and the offering. Ball 1.
First pitch from Hayes looked like a heater, ball 1.
From the stretch, fires. High ball 2 with nobody out.
Goes back to the heater again.
Here's the motion and
Or
the
still
offering.
is not fooled. Here comes the 2-0.
Ooh.
It's in there for strike 1.
Here's the motion and the pitch.
Another left hook, just painting the corner.
The stretch,
Bounce back up to
2-2.
2-2.
That was ball 3.
Wow, big pitch
And
here.
that pitch is called high ball 3.
3-2 pitch.
Full count here. Gore finally takes the bat off her shoulder and it's fouled down the line.
A 3-2 pitch.
The 3-2 pitch again. That's swung on and hit to left center field. Mondesi's
Oh, wow.
going back.
Makes the dive. That's
Makes the
not
dive,
high.
but it's
Scoops it
off
up
the
over
bushes.
second.
Here comes Gore. She slides into second and she's
Good
out.
for ya, I
Gary
say.
Allen.
What a
Wow.
throw by Raul Mondesi from deep left center field.
Swing. Here's
Robs
the
Gore
one
of a
to the
double.
pitch. Swung on. Chopper to third.
Gary Allen up, ground ball to third. McDonald
Way
fires and over Mahoney's head. Gary Allen is safe at first.
And I get the send to second there. You're kind of hoping it's the type of throw from the outfield that pulls the second baseman off the bag a little bit, leaves it open to you.
From the stretch and
obviously a great throw from Mondesi, but down one, last inning, you're trying to get somebody in scoring position. I can understand the send, especially with how deep in the corner that was.
Jerry Mahoney on the hill now for the Marlins. In limited action, has a 3 ERA with 1 strikeout. Only 9 previous batters faced. 2-1 pitches. Hit towards right field. Mondesi fields on a hop. Tries to get Allen at second. But Whitaker misplays it. So we've got runners safe at first and second as the pitcher, Harry Marks, comes to the plate.
Becomes center. The delivery. Swing. Strike. Runners on first and second. 1 out.
Marks is 4 for 10, including today,
The pitch.
for the season. Ooh. A right hook outside the zone that cools Marks. So with an 0-2 count, the Marks takes that pitch. It's inside. Ball 1. Here comes the pitch. Soft rounder.
This could be 2.
Thomas Fields fires to third. Down
Wow.
to second. It's in time. A double play to end the game.
Boy, that's tough luck in the 6th. There, you have a single that gets gunned down at second, then you get 2 back-to-back, hits/errors. You think about what could have been, but I think in the moment, a lot of smart plays, aggressive plays. I respect that, and just Loba came out on top. Well played game.
Well, it's a field that could yield a lot of offense, but only a 2-1 victory for the Marlins. The Marlins will move to 3-1 on the season. The Blue Jays go to 2-2.
Well, I don't know if you saw that strike to ball ratio. 47 strikes, 22 balls. Actually, from the players that I've played against, I've been looking at that a little bit more. And even 46 strikes, 20 balls on the other side. That's a pretty close ratio, closer than some other players that I've played against that are like 85, 90% strikes. That's a lot of balls thrown. But
it's fairly
really
high
considering
especially no walks in the game.
And I mean, we saw at least a handful of, there was the 2 balls that were thrown that were obviously going to be balls, and still swinging at it. So that ball counter is actually lower than.
Thank you, Loba. Can you do that again?
I wonder why he's clicking on that number. He must just be really proud of that pitch count. Hard to know why. But pretty fitting. Both players coming in 2-1 record. Final score 2-1, and that's kind of what you expect. It's a close game. Some close plays that, if they were went the other way, could have turned this game around the other direction. But yeah, the winning hit is that 2-run homer from Mondesi.
Yes, it's a 2-run homer from Mondesi that made the difference. Final score 2-1 Marlins in your humongous league game of the week for week 4.
Yeah, and you're just looking at the standings now, and that vaults Loba up several notches again, trying at this point of the season to pull away from the pack and keep yourself above that playoff contention dotted line, of course. And but still early enough in the season, I think, that there's time for everybody kind of in that middle ground to turn things around.
Looking ahead to next week, if you want a preview of what will be next week's match of the week, we are likely looking at Nate Tastic and HC3. We played at Ekman Acres. It's the Royals and the Fishes.
Well, it's good to see that HC will be playing a noob in week 5, so that'll be interesting. I don't know if Nate's got his thing muted still, but that'd be a good one. Games at Ekman Acres are always have a tendency.
Shout out to producer Nate Tastic. You'll be playing in the game of the week 5. Well, have you played in week 4 yet? Well, at this point, 3 games, 3 wins. How do you feel about your team thus far? The Mr. Clanky Award or the Randy Johnson Award or something like that?
Your your humility is noble, but I'm looking at your roster. You're 38 for 81. Are they lobbing slow balls down the middle to you? What's going on?
Well, it's wins thus far against Matitude, Scatty, and Viscery. We've got game. Well, I'd say games played so far at Cement Gardens, and Tin Can Alley. Or no, sorry, Cement Gardens, and Sandy Flats. Okay, so 2 games out of 3 at Cement Gardens.
Dude, playing 2 games at Cement Gardens and playing at Sandy Flats must be like, you know, how like players have a donut on their bat and then they take it off and swing, and if the bat feels like a toothpick, it's got to be bad, but for running. Players, he's running in quicksand after that. That's got to be hard on Derek Jeter's knees. He's like 45 now. And Ivan Rodriguez, shoot.
Yeah, I mean, Ivan Rodriguez. I mean, he's been a catcher most of his career.
Yeah, I mean, most career games caught, I think. No, but,
yeah.
But man, you're not. This is probably a product, I guess, of the fields you've been playing on, Nate. But 38 hits and 31 of them are singles. You're just kind of wearing these teams down.
Yeah.
What's his? Says he's got a 2.84 ERA, respectable.
Right.
Dude, I don't want to hear it because I've had Angela for 3 years and everyone bullies me in the lunchroom for
in the lunchroom. Well, okay. So here's the difference between Perry Marks and Ivan King. It's 81 stamina for Perry Marks and 3 for Ivan King. You got to hit the juice box a lot, man. I know it's a lot of slow balls, but
dude, and you're
doesn't
like,
matter your stam. If slow balls are always going to be 1. That's it.
No, and his strike to ball ratio is just like we talked about this game. He threw 79 balls to 181 strikes, so he's racketing up the pitch count too.
Man. Yeah, he had a game over 100 pitches. Now, the game against Scatty, did that go to extra innings? Okay. So you had over 100 pitches, but more than 6 innings. Okay.
Is that you? Did you make it over there? Well, bully for you, and good luck, I guess, in this week 5. Well, week 4 too, but on the stream. Well, I think we all agree that we want those in this community to go over and beat all the Reddit nerds. I certainly do. Oh, if I went over there with the rosters, not even that admins have constructed, but I have constructed my own doing, I'd go up to 10. I feel like the amount of Angela hate I would get over there dwarfs.
All right. Well,
I don't want to get sued, but a great game from both players here. Obviously, good competition. I just want to say again, I like the aggression. I think that's something that we've seen kind of over the years as this has developed. This is sort of my opinion. I don't know what you guys think, but I think there's a lot to be said for players that try to push the envelope a little bit on the base pass and force some throws. And sometimes you can, like we saw that one run that did score for the Blue Jays, scored on that Stewart play where coming down from third could have easily been thrown out, but forced the issue and scored a run from it, manufactured a run. And I like the aggressive plays. I like there was like the bunt throw from catcher to second base, try to get the lead runner and barely got it. It's kind of plays like that can really win you games. Not to sound old school, manager type, but it's good to see it. I think players would be a lot more. They find they could get away with a lot more stuff on the base pass than players try to do.
Loba, you want to come in for a post-game interview?
What up?
All right. So how do you feel about the win today?
Yo, second straight 2-1 game, or a win off of a Raul 2-run home run. So shout out to Raul. 2 weeks in a row.
Shout out to Raul.
Really carrying me out there.
It's nice to see the sim working.
I mean, you got Diane out there doing a thing, Same old.
I feel like Raul's home run, obviously the difference in the score, but I feel like a big play was Raul's throw from left center field to get Gore at second base, preventing her from getting a double.
I don't know what.
How do you feel about Raul's throw out there?
No, that's just Raul. Raul's the best defender in the game. We can't be doing that.
Well, it's great positioning having him out there in left field at Steele Stadium. That's a key position to have him in. Now, on the other side, in right field, you had Stuart Sullivan, who I noticed you were hesitant to throw from deep right center with him.
Well, I wasn't gonna switch the outfielders over every time there was a lefty up.
Sure.
I could have done that, but that would have been a little extra. But yeah, sometimes got to go to
limited
Stewart.
timeouts.
No, problem is he throws his feet way too much for you to risk doing anything but just running at him. It's just better every time to just run, but it will cost you. I was considering hiding him in the middle, but ended up hiding Adam instead. I mean, they both kind of suck, but Adam's got zero vision, so I'd just have him out there.
Now there was one play that went to Van Doren. That he was able to at least keep it in the park, even if he didn't catch it. So, limited the Blue Jays to single.
Today.
Yeah,
I somehow avoided throwing any home runs against a team that's all power. So,
yeah,
very
I think
cool,
that's the big takeaway I had. I was going to talk about the pitching. I noticed Blue Jays being a bit aggressive at the plate. You were throwing some balls outside the zone that Willigan was having these hitters swing at, daring you to throw him a strike.
Yeah.
I know Rogers noticed one at bat in particular, 2 balls outside the zone were swung at just to try to get you to throw a strike and not get a walk.
I was trying to walk Fabian. Yeah.
Yes.
That one was pretty funny. It could have been tragic. 'Cause I
Yeah.
wasn't even trying to get that one anywhere near the strike zone, but I ended up being there. And I was just greeting one stam too by just throwing slow balls. But I mean, it worked out for the best.
So Diana Hayes throwing for most of the game, and then you made the change towards the end, bringing in Jerry Mahoney. What was the strategy with that pitching change?
I mean, you saw what happened immediately, right? I threw that right hook like way out of the zone, but he hadn't seen anything like that all day, and he swung at it. But yeah, Jerry does a nice job backing up Diana. I usually don't need to go to him, but sometimes it's just nice to bring in someone that can throw slow balls and right hooks, just because they haven't seen it all night. Especially if they're starting to get used to Diana's pitches.
Yeah, I feel like it especially like you said, that first right hook way out the zone, fooled him there. And I think you had everyone on the team contribute today. Low scoring game, but Raul the hero.
Yeah, I gotta
I'd
yell at
say-
Jerry because he's supposed to have 97 coordination, and he messed up a lot at first base. You notice that? Like, he messed up a bunch. He got ran over by some of those throws.
Yeah, I think. I mean, there was one or two of them where he was able to get back to it in time and get the out, but
Or like dropped right on the plate. He could be a liability out there. So I usually have like Jeter out there, but
one of the things that confuses me, but it seems to be true, is height is the stat that matters for catching the ball sometimes.
First base, it'd be way better to have someone with bigger height. Problem is, those are all my best fielders too. So it's like
you've got
Mondesi
and McDonald are your three heights, and that's it. So well, still able to get, or sometimes you have Mahoney get too far off the base, and you have Whitaker take the ball to first base herself.
I like that. She's at least kind of fast.
It was a well played game for you. You got the win, and good luck in the rest of the season.
Hell yeah. I thought this was going to be one of my worst fields for my team, but I ended up working out in the end. So go back to Cement Gardens and keep getting her done.
Yeah, you, like Nate, play at Cement Gardens, and did well away from home tonight. Next week you got the Twins. Be an interesting game. Well, that's been the match of the week for the Humongous League. Do we know who has the match of the week for the Junior League? I think it was Colby and Zierbox, maybe? Time to be determined, so stay tuned. Follow along at twitch.tv/Backyard Sports Center, and you'll get a notification when we are next live. It will likely be that matchup. For Rajas, I'm DLW2711, signing off.